All right, that was a little awkward and clunkety, but let's move on. Okay, so right on time, we're going to the 1111 Divine Lovers series. So why don't we go ahead and do that? And this is going to be for... So the cycle of the revolving door is from the 24th of September to the 23rd of October. Now this 1111 Divine Lovers series, that is actually from the 9th of September to the 9th of October. So after this, we'll do it for the next 4 weeks as well. So we'll do 2 rounds here. I'll do up until now, and then from now to a month from now. And I'm hearing this song. My God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above. But it's coming through. It's coming through. You know, the womb, the receptive, wanting, yearning, nurturing part of ourselves, that's feminine. And then the higher self is actually more masculine in nature. God is the seed, and then the goddess is the expression. So, and then the goddess is the womb in which life happens, and life itself is God. The expression of life itself is nature, and that's the goddess. I'm just going to put that out there. Maybe it's for somebody. Okay. Grazie. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look up the Divine Lovers messages. I hope that's so much nicer. Let me just get in a better mood because I had to open up a can of whoop ass there. I apologize. Kind of sorry, but not really. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the guidance. We're going to pull the guidance here from Tarot of the Sun and Moon because it's a so cute deck and it has such lovely, sweet messages. Tarot of the Sun and Moon by Vanessa De Court. I love her. 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 Vanessa De Court, she's this great children's illustrator from, I think it's Belgium. So, La Papessa, the High Priestess. And I love this High Priestess card. Look at it. It's just so darling and cute. Let's show you. The next secundo. Extra second. Okay. So... you got to be able to look at everybody doing their little thing, getting distracted, and you got to just be able to sit in silence, sit in stillness, reflect within, understand the cycle. Some people are going to come into your life, let them. Some people are going to leave your life, let them. Some people are going to stay in your life, let them. And you've got to go through the motions and not be affected by it. And everything is happening to you. Ain't nothing happening for you. And you have no control. The only thing you can control is how you respond in this moment, how you show up to the space. Worrying about all these extra things takes away from the experience, and you impress upon your spirit and your soul things that you don't want to deal with later. So, yeah, things are going to happen. Tower, il torre. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, sit in the cycle. And, okay, let me just read this blind spot spread here. I'm hearing a Sheryl Crow song, and I can't. Every day is a winding road. So he's on his way. If you are waiting for him, he's on his way, but he might not be able to get to you at your vibration. See, the thing about Mr. Homeboy, let me tell you about Mr. Homeboy. So until you feeling fine, he's at a higher vibration. He needs you to bridge the gap between the physical and the spiritual. And if you're at a low vibration, honey, you hear me? You heard me? Okay, let's get to work. So, what's this blind spot say to me? What's the guidance for the reading? I don't drink coffee. What's a coffee stain doing there? Okay, so Feeling fine. Okay, well, it is a cycle. And the thing about it is, the Sphinx can be in anywhere on the wheel and be fine. It's these two mofos here, these little dumb and dumber here that can do no nothing. So this represents the shadow self, the lizard part of your being, and this is the mammalian part of your being, and then this is the divine part of your being. Okay, so it cycles in time. It's not really cycles in terms of up, down, wheel of fortune, wheel of karma. I'm unhappy with how 99% of the world interprets the world card, especially, but I'll hold in silence for a minute. It literally is talking about cycles of time, and time is the conveyor belt for karma to be delivered into the physical, and I'll leave it right there. Okay, so there's this cycle here. Woo! Okay, what falls to the floor comes to the door. Would have fell to the desk, so we'll just call it that. It seems like once you start ascending and once you start going on your journey to ascend, to awaken, then whatever structures, especially ones where you've given your power away, will burn down to the ground. And you'll learn through your mistakes, but you need to be in a place where you're not being reckless. So do you see how his back is to the tower? Okay. All right, so this tower is the institutional fuckery that's been built up against you being empowered. And see, the tiger there, you're falling into your lower self. So don't look for love in your lower self. Ascend again and get the transformation. You are looking for love. But love is union. It's merging back into the divine. That's why we get stuck on stupid down here when we're looking for love, because the lower version of Neptune is Venus. So the funny thing about the caduceus, that Mercury stick, is that that's the male and the female kundalini. We call it the Pingala, okay? But you know, Mercury is the energy of Mars and Venus combined. And then again, we have the sun, okay? So that's what came through, and this again was the high priestess. So this is the secret to know. All right, so let's get in here and see what we got. Right. Moon 777, right. That's coming through. I don't normally listen to. Sheryl Crow is like road trip music. I listen to Sheryl Crow when I'm rolling a blunt. Literally, like I'll get my medicine for the week and I'll grind it up and I'll lay out a little conveyor belt with a bunch of blunts to roll. And it takes me like half an hour, but I roll like 10, 12 blunts. And I put that song on for that, to roll 7 to 10 blunts. That's the song for rolling blunts, that song. So, anyways, let's get to work. Okay. Feeling fine. Ooh. Okay, so we're vested fully in the crown here, but it's not going to happen this month. Now, you're not going to find this love, and even if you do find this love, it's not going to come in correctly and vest fully until Jupiter is done with its retrograde in Sagittarius. So you're still about another year out. And again, don't hear that you're a year out and then sit there and wait for a year from now to get your shit together. Don't do that to yourself. Come on now, lava. All right, so let's talk about this. This is a journey of passion and compassion, but it seems like it's inside. So what do? We turn within and we give it to ourselves. Strength, courage, and wisdom. I'm hearing that song. And that is, well, you've been given an opportunity for independence, to make yourself sovereign, sacred, and serene. And God tried to bless you, and you're like, God's trying to give you an angel. You're like, nope, I want the devil. God's trying to give you an archangel. You're like, nope, I want the devil. So, oh, and your soul's here. So, this makes me sad. Some of this is like wounding. Because, bad stuff happens to us, especially as little girls. It's like we get stuck on that stupid story because it's all we get sold when we're in those places of learning to nurture our sovereignty, our serenity, our grace. It's in those times of like, those developmental formative places. I don't like normal words, but when we're young and vulnerable, when we're young and impressionable, you get my drift. It's like we're still carrying a lot of that stuff around, so it's wounding. So the passion and compassion we need is for ourselves because we're put on the tightrope. Okay, this is a musical day. The Janelle Monáe's coming through now. Tightrope. We're on a tightrope, and it's with our own power, with the eternity of our spirit. It's right there, pounding on the door, and we're like, but you're not the devil, so bye. And then it starts out in the death house. So we need to let things go. We need to stand up. So when any of the first 10 cards are in reverse, it means it's guidance. It's literally archangels are saying that's what you need to give yourself. So really we're giving away our spirit. We're sacrificing our soul in some way. And we really need to understand lay the groundwork for, this is Uranus and Mercury. Remember I was talking, and the sun. Remember I was talking about like that Mercury is the male and the female, the Kundalini merging, right? So if you're spreading your wings, the Horoscopes, intermission. Horoscopes, H-I-E-R-O-S space Gamos, G-A-M-O-S, Horoscopes. That is your twin flame union. You anchor into the physical, your higher self. You anchor into the physical, the bridge, the rainbow bridge for your lover to come to you. Okay? So you need to marry yourself first. Sounds stupid, I know, but do it. He'll be right around the corner. And so I'm getting that, laying the groundwork here in the physical. And then a week from now, as I was saying, you're going to begin this journey, but it's got to start through release. It's got to start through release of all of the wounding from previous lovers. And over the next 6 weeks, you're going to be cutting the cords. And that's the Venus retrograde. Oh, I love you, Katrina. Thank you. That's the Venus retrograde, too. So over the next 6 weeks, because this is upright, it would have been over the last 6 weeks here in reverse. And this is in the lover's house. So you're going to be cutting all of the cords, all of the ooga booga, all of the nasties, all of the curmudgeony, crudginess, crustiness up in your soul shadow, up in your soul eyes, up in your spiritual eye, getting the icky, the ooga booga, the nasties, the eye boogers out from waking up in the morning, right? Okay? And you've got to cut the cords. Look at that. You've got to go through the timeline, past, present, and future, and release all of your attachments to lower vibrational entities that got created through a false twin flame union. Now, the Lover's card is showing up in the aha house, and it is saying that the aha moment you need to let go. That some of those people, wow, we're really chopped today. Pardon me. So in reverse, it means you don't hold on to that. It means that served its purpose, and you've got to let it go. And you've got to go to work on yourself, not other people. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't feel like I want to bark at you. This I feel nice and lovely. So I guess I really do channel whatever is coming through. Now, the aha moment here is in this. Okay, so this is getting your life together and stop acting out of character. Hold on to yourself. Open your heart to me, baby. So it's fine to believe, but it's the waiting and the holding and the wishing and the praying for something that's far away. And the only way to cross that gap to whatever location far away is to get to a higher vibration. It's not a span of time. It's not waiting for someone to get their life right. It's about increasing your vibration, vitality, invigoration, and ashe. Because it's about putting your life in place, getting your life together. Stop behaving out of character. And see, let me give you a little clue about what behaving out of character means in this context, since it's the judgment card with the La Temperanza, the temperance card. That's out of this world. It's in the spiritual. So we're not conditioned and programmed to be authentically human. Authentic humanity and humanity at a higher dimensional vibration, at a higher frequency, is not stuck on stupid the way we are. We're eating fungicides, herbicides, pesticides, GMO. There's all these preservatives and fillers in our food. Think about a person that quits smoking. You know how much of a withdrawal that is, how much of a kick that is. It's like going vegan. You're getting rid of all these fungicides, herbicides, pesticides, preservatives. There's like 2,500 different additives that you're letting your body release. The same thing happens on a spiritual level. You got all this stinking thinking, all this curmudgeon-y, cockamamie bullshit stories that you were conditioned and programmed to believe. The people, the places, the things, the mama, daddy, teacher, preacher. It's all up in you. You got to let it all go. And you got to see it for what it is. And it's painful. You got to look up towards the heavens for it too. But when you look up towards the heavens, it's your higher self reflecting back to you. So you're behaving out of character on a lower level, on a human level. I like this one. It's so much better than the karmic one. A lot nicer. So let's go figure this one out. I'm curious. Okay, so it's saying that, yeah, there's a lot to detox. There's a lot to detox. And you've got to go on the journey, and you've got to be fiery, and you got to be passionate about it. You got to take no prisoners. You've got to be effervescent, effusive in your nature. And it's like, okay, passions, drives, desires, motivations, instead of like thinking, stinking, feeling, hurting, none of that. None of that practical, actual human shit. Be a spiritual flame. Let it shine, shine bright. Burn it to the ground, any obstacle in your way. So this is the burning desire, right? And the lesson here, especially for the Wheel of Fortune house, so this is your divine timing, and the gate that's opening up. So if the why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. You've got to have your own skin in the game for your own damn self. And now the Wheel of Fortune is showing up when you learn to let go or get dragged, when you learn to release, when you learn to stop looking towards the past to see what you lost. It's like me, I'm looking for my glasses. They're on my head. I'm looking for my pen. It's in my ear. I'm looking for that apple. It's on my desk. I'm looking for those keys. They're in my pocket. I hate pockets, by the way. So it's like you're looking for love and you're holding on to it. Your love reflected back to you, and you'll attract it into your life. I'm hearing that again. Open your heart to me, baby. She sold her soul to the devil. So I only listen to her old music. Nothing new. Let's clarify, because that's a pretty powerful, it seems like the reading pivots right there with that Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the healing really you decide when the healing is over, but understand that it's rest and recovery, and you're convalescing. Down here on earth, you're convalescing. And see, the wound is where the light shines through. So in the middle of all that pain is where the wisdom and the illumination and the enlightenment comes from. Because if you have all these broken thought forms, all this stinking thinking, it's going to mess you up. And in the middle of all that, this is also the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So you might need to get enclosed in some wounding. You might need to get a little fucked up by life in order to get the point. I hate to say. And it's true, because your wisdom won't come into what your thinking, your thought pattern, your thought process is not going to deliver to you. Yeah, see, your wisdom is not appropriate for the situation. Because you decide to be overwhelmed. So when you're feeling like that, you're calling upon experiences, the soul things you need to go through in order to liberate yourself, instead of just doing your work. So again, withdraw, release, because the spirits are not going to carry that energy back and forth from the spiritual for you. They're going to leave you in that because they've tried to help you already and you weren't listening. Okay. Yeah. So this is somebody who's trying to give love, but they're trying to give love to something that's already died. It's not receptive. It's not reciprocal. And this is the wanting, hurting, conjuring, yearning, hurting from a previous. So right, like I said, get everything done in the physical first. Stop worrying about all this other stuff. You're not even going on the journey. You're not even going on the journey, or you're not doing it correctly, or you're not petitioning correctly to get that energy moving because the work hasn't been done. You're not petitioning properly to get that energy moving because the work hasn't been done in the physical adequately, properly. See, it's funny too because it seems like the spiritual world, especially the ancestors, they want this for you. But again, you haven't properly petitioned them. You haven't properly petitioned your higher self. However your spiritual faculties works, wherever your spirits come from. And see, that's for you. It's specific to you. So we were in the Wheel of Fortune house, and that was in the higher fence. So that's a teacher that changes your life. That's a teaching, a lesson that changes your life. And if it's in reverse, it means that you got to give it to yourself. It's already happened. You've already been told. You've already come across it. The cycle should have closed out anywhere up to 18 months ago, and for whatever reason you didn't get with the program, so now you've got to put some elbow grease into it in order, and not like heavy duty hard work, but you've got to participate in the cycle in order to close it down. And see this L'Ermitia, the hermit. I gotta say it in Italian to say it in English. Sometimes too many languages, too many songs going on. It's called code switching, so sorry if I'm all over the place. In the Devil house, it means that you need to understand that you're evolving past your soul family. You've got to get bigger, brighter, better. People, places, and things. You've got to get to higher ground. People, places, and things. You've got to get to higher vibration. People, places, and things. Because you're going to be a bright light in a dark place. And right now, it's going to attract some nasty, nasty demons. Narcissists. All that. So you're a bright light in a dark place. But if you're refusing to see the shadow for what it is, then you're not holding the world in your hand. You stuck on stupid. And this lesson you need to learn about, and the demon that you're trying to learn about is alive in you. Sorry. So now the devil is in reverse. So it means that, ooh, so much lesson. Woo! Okay, so here's how this works. Okay, especially with the gate to the heart chakra. This could also be a female orgasm, or it could also be the gate to the astral. It could be emotional ideas, or ideas that originate at the heart, or ideas that originate with love. So with this devil in the star house, it would mean believing in the worst. Lack of hope, lack of faith, lack of optimism. There's a lot coming through, so I'm just going to go with the channel instead of with the technical definitions here. So for the students, I'm breaking protocol. I'm leaving the house readings and I'm going to the intuitive reading. So what I'm getting here is, you know, when one person leaves a karmic situation, the energy dissipates for both of them. And if a person keeps projecting, that's why the devil, because you're giving your power away. And see, your cup is able to be filled. The Fool is the empty cup. The world is the cup when it's full. And see, you have Uranus. So, and love is an 11th house, unless it's love of humanity, love of the collective. So we would have to be in the 8th house with Uranus, not in the 11th house with Pluto. It's not this tyrannical thing. The tyranny here was that you were conditioned and programmed to believe that love was the solution for all. Love is the solution for all, but it's not love of another person. It's not love of an individual. It's love of all. God is love. God is life. God is glory. The feelings of love, the experience of love, that's the goddess. Okay? So when one person leaves that cycle, if you keep giving to it, the karma is trying to dissipate. I love Papa Roach too. I'm hearing the song Broken Home. That's high school music. All alone. But Tightrope is Janelle Monáe as well. So yeah, that's what I'm getting, especially with this. It's kind of like, okay, honey, don't be a beacon for demons. Don't be a highway for demons. Don't send out the I'm wounded, come in me thing. Because right now, the thing you're attracting and what you're open and receptive to is the devil. Now, it's lessening, it's dissipating, but I don't want it to show up there. I'd rather the devil show up somewhere else. But see, it also would mean that you're healing, but you're taking your time with the healing because you don't know what to think. Or you're taking your time learning about your Brahmanical studies. So Lo Brahmano is the lodge here. Yeah. So over the next month, you got to spend your time getting on the right path, healing, nurturing, and I would also suggest a spiritual bath here. I just can't fight this feeling. But maybe, Katrina, you're right. The Papa Roach song is coming through now. So this is like deep, 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 deep. Okay, so one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven-sided square. I mean, seven-sided circle. Seven-sided square. Whatever. Seven-sided whatever. Seven-sided star. Seven. Yeah. English has left the building. Okay, I have a rock song going on in my head. I really do. I have a rock song going on. It's like boom, ba-dum-bum. Okay. So what are the spirits doing? Oh my gosh, guys. I'm a little overwhelmed. If you could please just slow it down. The genre is too... I need one genre of music, please. Okay. So in the next... Right around the full moon, which is on the 9th, or excuse me, pardon me, the new moon on the 9th. The new moon on the 9th. The Libra full moon on the 9th is going to begin a healing cycle. And around the 24th and onwards, around the 31st of October is when you're going to begin to see manifested in the physical the path of healing. Now, it'll be different strokes for different folks. Some of you will see what the healing was. Some of you will see how you were healed. Some of you will see what the healing is. Some of you will see what the healing journey looks like. Some aspect of healing. No, I use actually a really good chapstick. I've just been lazy and I've been dumping my bag and switching bags a lot because I've been, you know, playing cute and dress up. So whenever I switch bags a lot, I always lose my chapstick. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. And see, if it's in the magician house is what you come to teach the world. So your message is going to become your message. Your test is going to become your testimony. And to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if like 5 years from now you write a book about your journey with love, and the healing that you go through over the next month is going to be the beginning of the understanding and the reckoning of that learning lesson. Okay. And see, now we have the magician in the world house. So actually take a stand with your healing and take a stand with this healing journey, because remember, the magician is what you come to teach the world. It's your gift, it's your skill, it's your talent, it's your craft. And your craft is going to be standing secure in love. And this is going to come over the next week. So you're going to begin to find skills, find tricks, find traits about yourself that you wouldn't have had without going through the love journey. And this is spiritual laws. universal laws, and it's throughout all four corners of the universe. And literally, you've got to understand what coming to Earth means. Earth is the heart of the universe. So it also means mastery too. So it might be your 13th lifetime of coming through this consciousness experience, and you finally get it. Like me, I'm the 13th generation after slavery. So 13 generations ago was when slavery first started in my bloodline. According to the slavery that we're aware of today, there's been many slaveries throughout the timelines, but we ain't gonna talk about that. So whatever, I'm getting 13th generation. Yeah, I'm really getting deeply 13th generation. So you might have spent 13 lifetimes apart as well. And see, this is a little tricky because it can mean in the body or out of the body too. So you might already have access to this person. Hi, Devin. You might already have access to this person, but in the dream state, in the dream world, or you might not meet them until you get back to heaven. Or after you complete your cycle of healing and what you came to this earth to accomplish, then this person might manifest in the physical in your life. But it means that you're already married to them in the spiritual. That they're already there for you in the spiritual waiting, and that they have a choice. See, the king and the knight, they have a choice to come into the physical whenever they want. I'll tell you that in the Mr. School. So let's move on. Now, where's the Justice card? La Justicia. So right now, currently, you're out of alignment. It says that you're being passive in your law and order. So you're giving away your power. You're giving away your rights. So it's not working out right for you because you're standing in the lower self. You're standing in your womb. Okay? You're not in your higher self. You're not above the heart. And this already started. You're already noticing over the last couple of days, you've already figured out what was alive in you and how you're contributing to this postponement. Let's clarify that. So y'all know whenever there's a yod or a lightning bolt, it means that, yeah, so you're dissipating the stinking thinking. Remember what I was telling you before? You know, you can't be stuck on stupid. Your thought form is going to manifest a lower vibrational outcome than what you really want. Well, this is when you turn that around. It's when the devil's in your mind. Your lower self is governing your higher self. Your higher self is governing your lower self. So it just happened literally like a couple days ago. Like something went off. Something switched. Hi, Anja. Something went off. Let me know if you watched that video. It was very long. Something literally in the last couple days switched. A light bulb went off. Okay, Devin and everybody watching, whenever there's a lightning bolt in the title of the video, it means it's going to be split up into chunks. I just want to get the content out because I have a tendency to stress out and to perfect like a Virgo. So sometimes I'll just come to the drawing board and put everything on the board, and then I'll organize it later. So that's what this is. This video is actually going to be broken into 3 different chunks. September, October for the 11/11 Divine Lovers, and October for the revolving door, okay? So there's 45 minutes after this because I'm almost done with this reading. There's one more after this one. So if in the last couple days we figured something out, like we figured out what we were doing to Ugga Bugga ourselves, then hi Cherry, then now we can embrace the situation instead of bracing for impact. Okay, and then that means that we can work on rectifying, clarifying, cleaning up. This is in reverse. Cleaning up, clarifying this tangible opportunity. And yeah, so we're preparing for things to get done. So we're getting ready to getting ready. We're getting ready to be ready. Yeah, so we still have to invest a little bit more work right now. It's not quite in a place where we've built the foundation. We're not quite ready for what we want to come to us. But it's shifted. There's been a shift because the thought form. And, you know, we have 12 pentacles here. So we have 12. Thank you, Anja. We have 12 pentacles here with this 5 and this 7. So the 12 is the queen. Actually, we have 13. So a master, but I only ever count 2, unless there was a court card. So we have all these pentacles. So we have 6 pentacles getting your need. Oh, excuse me. 6 pentacles getting your needs met. And it's just okay. Thank you, Anja. And then we have 8, which means working on ourselves. And remember I said there's a little bit more work to do. So we have that extra pentacle. And then when we add these together, there's a queen behind. So the queen is the womb. It's the foundation. It's the throne. So it's about getting the foundation in the physical right. And understand that the queen is always under the moon. The king is always under the sun. Sun, that's 5th dimension. Moon, that's 4th dimension, okay? And then whenever we talk about pentacles, that's literally in the physical. The physical planet doesn't always talk about the 3rd dimension. Because believe it or not, the astral realm has physical elements to it. Okay, yes. Whew, that was a mouthful. Let's get into this. I had to clarify that because I was like, why are we out of alignment? What's going on? So recently, within the last couple of days, we figured out what that missing piece was. And it was something in our mind, like our belief system. And we decided to work more, but we work with ourselves to co-create with our higher self, to co-create with the universe, instead of like, you know, pulling from external resources to feed what's alive in us. I'm a little hot. This is how I cool myself down. It's this Florida water. Woo! Always squirt the bun. Okay. Shoot, fly, shoot. Okay. So, now let's leave the Justice card in the Hangman house. Well, one more thing about the Hangman house. It seems like we've been looking for this different perspective, and this perspective was our stinking thinking. There, that's the transmission. Now because we're being a passive leader. We're not really doing this in a spiritual way. So this is about the devas, doing things in the light, doing things from the higher self. Up until recently, we weren't doing that, and we need to discover that we need to do things according to spiritual technology, spiritual perspective, spiritual solutions, spiritual tactics, spiritual techniques versus the lower self, the wanting, hoping, wishing, praying, needing, yearning, conjuring up the hurting, reminiscing about the past wounding. I'm a Cancer, I do that. But if I go to the past to think about my wounding, it's because I'm going to take an inventory and see what's alive in me that I can change instead of who needs to do what or who coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm not going to shit all over myself. You know what I mean? And now we have the Emperor. So the Emperor was interesting because the Emperor came out in reverse. And then when I was talking about the Devil, it turned upright. So it seemed like we were the ones who recognized the connection with the twin, but we were waiting on the male, the divine masculine, to get their shiznit together. And since we were holding on and giving our power away, then the devil, we were the cause for the devil. And when we let go and walked out into our own energy, into our own personal work, then I can fix the collar later. It's going to get on my nerves with my Virgo sensibilities, but whatever. Then when we walked out of that devil energy, it freed up the divine masculine to get a clue. They were never going to get a clue if we were always available and accessible. So the guidance here is the petition. Go on a journey through the spiritual to understand your divinity, your serenity, and your grace. You've got to do things spiritually. Again, do things spiritually. Also, there was a lot about the emotional body. So you're probably having dreams. I got that. My false twin or whatever. The person that I was caught up on for a while, my Neptune is conjunct their moon. Exactly conjunct their moon. Like when you put our charts on top of each other, they right on top. So we'd be in each other's dreams. If I was feeling myself, he'd know. If I had a little bit of excitement or ecstatic bliss, or if I was a little catchy in my heart, he would know. If he was deeply on my mind that day, I would literally run into him in the physical. I remember if I had a dream about him the night before, I'd walk around through the city the next day and I'd be smelling him. You know, I'm really into pastries, and he smells like pastries. So it was like it's one of those things of like, you're gonna be having dreams and visions of the divine masculine, especially during this Venus retrograde, and it's okay. Just understand, because also the pages is Venus in that sign. So this is Venus in a cup in a water sign. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. I have Venus in Cancer. So also remember that if you're dreaming about them or thinking about them, Venus is about to go into retrograde, y'all. So they may literally show up in the physical or call you. You may accidentally answer your FaceTime and it'll be them, or you may butt dial them on the FaceTime and they'll be able. And when you pick up your phone, you'll be looking at their face. Yes, 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 Queen, yes. So, and that's in the Tower House. So the Tower House is like inciting incidents, and this means a destructive person. He's the one with the karma. He's the one with the shit. He's the one with the shenanigans. He's the one that needs to fix himself. But having that laundry list and the judgment that comes through it, that's you dragging yourself down to his level, not leaving the energy and letting him rise to your level, and not waiting for him. Honor him for what he brought to your life: sovereignty, serenity, and grace, an understanding of who you are, an understanding of your personal power and your divinity and your truth. And if you can't be with him another day in this lifetime, that's what he gave you. Thank him for that and move on. Maybe, hopefully, maybe he'll catch up. But if he doesn't, it's okay, because he served his purpose then. And that's what it means when the Lover's card is in reverse. That relationship served its purpose. That should be the aha moment. Okay? So now let's go on to the Tower. So the Tower is shown up in the Sun house. So you should see why it unraveled. And you should see why your spirits protected you, because your spirits are actually very strong. The spirits through the sky gods are very strong. They can manipulate the timeline very easily. It's like, because they're beyond time. They're at the time where they're at the part of the timeline where the past and the present and the future reconcile into the 0 point. I hope I'm not getting too esoteric. So that's the lesson here. So this actually is this is proper. This is like, okay, you got the viewpoint here. You no longer have the stinking thinking. You're no longer holding on, becoming impoverished, whether it's mind, body, soul, spirit, doesn't matter. Something shifted. So I think when you left or when you withdrew, then that was you bringing down the tower. And see, I'd rather bring down the tower than have the tower brought down on me. And it probably felt like devastating, like the rug had been pulled out from under you, but in reality, it was your saving grace. It was protection, your savior. So the Sun now is in the Empress house, and that means somebody that's ripe with abundance. You may have another person on the way, but unstable, but you won't lose your foundation in reverse. Upright, the dissolution, breakdown, upheaval, you might lose your foundation. Not with it in reverse. So here this is a pregnant woman if it's in the Empress house, but this could mean whatever you're wanting to nurture and create into the physical, now that you know what you know, it will happen. You will literally bring whatever you're trying to manifest into the physical, but as long as you do it through spiritual means. And that's what you're nurturing, creating in the physical. And then the Empress is shown up in the High Priestess house. So this is, talk to your grandma. Probably the grandma that was a lot more tough. Ron, I know you personally, so you better speak up. Say something about me or I'm going to have to kick you out of the room because I'm detecting nasty. Ron, mind yourself. So when you know your secret and when you know the name of your goddess, Okay, buddy. Fuck you and your mama. Have a nice life. Yeah, I took care of that. Um, so, next, I used to work in the adult industry doing makeup on porn sets. So Ron is actually a buddy of mine. I can call him on my phone right now. That sounded honky to me. Okay, so it seems like this whole lesson is about finding the name of your goddess, invoking your strength, courage, and wisdom, getting back to the truth of who you are and why you're here. That's the whole secret. So we're at this 90-minute mark. Let me pull a... Oh, wrong oracle deck. Okay. I'm hearing when I said when I said I don't want to hear any recent Madonna. I've had this song in the back of my head. Yeah, kick him out if you can. Fucking troll. I eat trolls for breakfast, y'all. I don't want to turn into a savage in church. But Ron Jeremy is the name of the one of the most popular porn stars in all of history. Dance of the Divine Feminine. That's why we have the Empress in the High Priestess house and the High Priestess in the Strength house. And the Strength house is the crowning of the reading. Look at this. Ooh, 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 ooh. I just had to let that out. My body has ecstatic movement right now. I just want to get up and dance. This card is giving me so much excitement. Ow! Okay, so let's just do an intuitive reading right now. Well, number 42. I was hearing that when I was talking about the sky gods, I had a visitation. You can see the orbs going around me. I'll let you figure that one out on your own. But I know the mysteries of the sky gods. And they were telling me the numerology, and they were saying that there's 7 chief archangels. And there's really 4 archangels of our part of the universe, or our understanding of the universe, but there's multiple games that are being played, So there's really multiple universes, but a universe could be parallel universe, multi-universe, omniverse, interverse, So, and then I've been hearing, if you want it, you've already got it. Don't think about it. I'm gonna give you what you want. Okay, so I have so much joy in my heart with this card. So, Dance of the Divine Feminine. Let's read this card. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dance of the Divine Feminine. If a tree could move from one place to another, it would not suffer the pain of the saw or the oppressive wounds. If the sun and the moon stood still like the rocks, they could not offer brilliance. How bitter the taste of water would be if the river stopped its flow, remaining still like the seawater. When the seawater rises to become a cloud, it loses its bitterness and pours the rain of sweetness. I'm shook. Oh my gosh, I just got knocked off my spiritual ass. Let's read that one more time. Woo! Ooh, I got the vapors. Okay. Oh, wow. One more time, please. If a tree could move from one place to another, it would not suffer the pain of the saw or the oppressive wounds. If the sun and the moon stood still like the rocks, they could not offer brilliance. How bitter the taste of water would be if the river stopped its flow, remaining like seawater. When the seawater rises to become a cloud, it loses its bitterness and pours the rain of sweetness. Oh my gosh, let's read this. I've given you only a few examples. you can figure out the rest. Break away from the self and enter the kingdom of love. Oh my gosh, I love Rumi so fucking much. How can your feet bear to be still, beloved, when the music is so lush and inviting? How can you hold yourself back from the tide of love when the horizon looms so vast and exciting? How can you not arch your back and respond with ecstasy to the lover's touch, staying in absolute submission? Yes, more. You were made to move and to grow, to love and to flow. Even mountains change. Surrender the stodgy ways of the mind and become willing to dance to the great orchestrations of love. You may feel unsettled, beloved, as though the ground beneath you is not so solid. You may touch it to see, is it moving? Of course. Is it hurting? Is it hurling through the sky, spinning, tilted on its axis? It's amazing. You aren't passed out on the floor in utter dizziness? Yet you stand there, imagining you have a choice of not moving. What funny foolishness. Let us laugh about it together. How can you even imagine it? Only through some misplaced fear? Is it such a small craziness? Really? You can cast it off. Small, crazy fear. Let it return to the Mother Earth to become fertilizer for the far grander and more exciting insanity of divine love. Instead, give up that tiny insanity in favor of the greater craziness of love. You cannot be unmoved by it. The rhythm of life will get you shaking your hips eventually. How could you not become entranced by the gleaming dance floor, shimmering with the possibility of invitation? This goes on for a while, and we're already past the 45-minute mark for the Divine Lovers. So understand that it's going to be free for a while, and then it's going to go to a private network, and there'll just be a briefing, and then if you're a member of the temple, it'll be free on the temple website. Not right now. So you have a free Divine Lovers reading for this month and next month. Now, this is page 183 from the Rumi Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I want to thank Rachel Inspirachel C from Las Vegas. You got me one of the Alana Fairchild decks, and I just want to thank you for it. And this is card number 42, okay, from the Rumi Oracle. I use this Oracle for love because it gets my panties wet. So that's TMI. Let's move on. So let's pull one from Lady Doreen. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. You know, stop. Full stop. Because it's talking to me. I see wings here. So it's talking to me about give your spirits a chance to come in and clean up your life and make you sovereign, sacred, and serene. And that man will step right into the physical almost immediately. Okay. Thank you, Inspirachel. So we have these energies here because you need to marry your spirits. Your spirits are waiting on you. And when you marry, see, my grandma, she's deceased. Thank you, Grandma. She, you know, if I choose a lover for the night and I give him my address, if the spirits don't like him, he can't find my house. I live by a very popular mountain for hiking in Portland, so people know my neighborhood very easily. And for whatever reason, it's not uncommon, like the spirits will cock block. And it's a blessing and a curse. So I'm getting here, it's like, you're trying to go about it. No, not near the Veterans Administration. I live near Mount Tabor. See, the thing is, like, you're trying to get everything done in your human perspective and your stinking thinking and your third dimensional. And soulmates and twin flames, they're not third dimensional. They're not mundane. They're not muggle-like. So you've got to have a connection, have a bond with your spirits or with your higher self or with your ancestors, and that'll shift around for you. Okay, so that loving yourself first, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Your self-respect makes you, that's the, oh, okay, no, I'm in Oregon. Your self-respect lets the spirits know that you're ready to take on that spirit work. Okay, so hold on, let me just write myself a note because we started this reading at 45 minutes. It's 100 minutes now. Just for the editing later, so I don't actually have to rewatch everything because that's what makes it take forever. We have 45 mean, and then 10041. If you want it, you already got it. Okay, so let's check the cycle after a week from now, because it seems like after the 9th, things are going to shift. Or